Hello, hello. My name's Kevin. Today is Christmas Eve 2020, December 24th. I hope you're well. I hope you're ready for whatever this is, this holiday, this celebration. As you can tell, I already got the card pulled up that I drew this morning, and it's a good one. The learning experience, or the angel of learning experience, or at least when this card is drawn, it indicates that even though you might not feel like you're out of the woods, or that you have finished everything that you meant to finish as far as a learning experience goes, um, it's brought you to where you are. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think sometimes when we experience hardships, challenges, and we come through well, we learn, because the whole object is not to repeat, it's not to go back. I think I've spoken before of those who are steeped in negative thinking, and that's a comfort zone. It's what we learn, it's what we know, it's what other people share with us and tell us. It's easier to complain because that's what we know. Um, Here's what I know: complaining begets more complaining. Nothing wrong with getting it out, getting it off your chest, expressing yourself, providing you can get somewhere with it. Challenges, not everyone does. The upside is, if you're on a spiritual path, if you're on a pathway to discover something deeper about yourself, your purpose, why you're here, and if you're still tuning in, paying attention, then you're getting it. Not that I am the master of all. I love learning. Didn't always like learning. Didn't always think, oh God, this is drudgery. But now I'm discovering that the connection between a spirit being inside a body and a body being on the earth, and the earth being part of a bigger solar system, it's a lot easier to deal with the fact that why am I worried about this? Why am I worried about what lawmakers say, or what the next door neighbour says, or the fact that, you know, the cost of gasoline's gone up? There'll always be money to pay for these bills. There'll always be money to, do what you need to do with, if you believe that. It's like a flow. The other part that I am learning now is to build the day from the capsule of this morning. There's something scientific and powerful about the very first part of the day before the sun breaks. Yesterday I was up super early. I think I shared with you. I got the opportunity to go pick up a few things, oddly enough, right around 6:30, quarter to 7, something like that. And I'm driving, I guess it was south, and I'm watching the sun not even up, but just, I shouldn't say that because the sun never goes down, the earth revolving enough to start seeing the early light of the sun coming. And it was so many different shades of amber and orange and rose, and sort of streaks of that deep sort of purple color. And I was in awe of, wow, I get to drive to work. It was mild. I had a thin cotton shirt on, end of December. Wow. These are the things we learn to appreciate. And for me, it's a reminder that the consciousness has lifted, lightened, heightened. The vibration is up to get to where that is things we should always be paying attention to. But we get so caught up in the humdrum, day to day, to and from, stuff. What I've also noticed is there are disappointments, which were expectations that didn't mature. And in those opportunities, I suppose, that's where I have a learning curve. That's what I'm working on next. Not, losing another £5 or making more money, or not those things. I think I graduated that class. This is more really about what's actually important. And the important thing is things happen, people disappoint, situations disappoint. Well, where was the expectation? And I think what landed for me when I was meditating last night was how the reaction to disappointment, what does it feel like? Not good. Where does it land in my body? Typically my jaw, in here, my heart, front of my forehead. I can feel it there. These are things I've learned. I mean, they've probably always been there. I've never really paid attention to them. So then I took it a little bit step forward. Was it intentional? Somewhat. I don't think it was intentional to create harm or hurt, but I do think there was a lack of integrity, a lack of respect, a lack of understanding, and in that there was an assumption. So I brought all that down to what do I learn from this assumption? Am I laying blame? Am I casting blame upon the situation? Yep, I had to own up to some of that. It was somebody's fault. And then it was like, well, was it intentional? What they did intentional? No. Then how could it be their fault if it was intentional? So there's a bridge and a balance between, well, the learning experience is this. We typically want to create a way to make people pay, or a way to have, I suppose you could call it vengeance, if you would. But we can't have it always, because vengeance, revenge, all that kind of thing isn't kind, it isn't helpful, and doesn't move you, me, or the gatepost any further forward. That's the challenge, because you can say verbally, oh, I'm over it, I'm good, I'm done, but your actions are not saying that. Body sensations are saying a different thing. So until we get to the point of how do you move the goalpost forward, lift from it, learn from it, forgive, not forget, but forgive and lift, it's going to keep happening until you're able to very quickly find the energy and the reason to lift, move past it, to find something better. And for that, once the awareness is there, that there's this assumption, the assumption that it's going to be okay and it doesn't matter and this and that assumption. Oh, there's a little hint of the feeling of being taken for granted. I've watched my friends do lots of things for people over and over and over and over without anything at all. Mums do it for their kids. Grandparents do it for their grown kids and their grandkids. So it really starts with a family dynamic. Sometimes all you want, the givers, is a smile and a thank you and a recognition that it made a difference and how it made a difference. That's it. That right there is golden. Now, those who give freely, unconditionally, aren't standing there with a hand out. What about me? when you're going to say thank you, when you're going to appreciate, when you this, when you that. No, they're not doing that. But there are those that do. There are those that do, that bear the grudge, that feel like they gave and they didn't get back. So that's a learning curve in gratitude, being taken for granted, the feeling that you somehow lost, didn't get. Those are the learning curves, which are the biggest ones, the most challenging ones, the ones that don't feel good. And this is really about feeling good. And these are the tests and the lessons to live by. Last week I listened to somebody who publicly forgave a person for killing their adult child. I heard it. I think it was a news report, maybe an old one. I don't know what the story was now, but I remember hearing the woman's voice, and she was clearly saying, I forgive this person. I think the person was being given the electric chair or something like that, and lethal injection, I don't know. And they played the voices for the people who had something to say. That's the other thing I'm always curious about. And I've played this scenario thing in my head a few times. It sets people off a little bit. But if today, the one we're in, Christmas Eve 2020, was the last moment you got, that's it. You're down to the last 23 hours. And you get to leave this earth, leave this body, no longer exist, no longer be who you are. This is morbid for Christmas Eve. I'm sorry. But it's very interesting that in those moments, most individuals go to a place of love. You hear declarations of love. What if that was the framework by which you did everything? That's the learning experience. How to unconditionally get to the point where the forgiveness, the hurt, the lesson of, oh, I don't feel so good, but I love the person anyway. I'm just going to love them no matter what. It's okay. And that, I think, is the golden ticket. I think I said about a month ago that my mantra, if you will, for 2021 likely will be love. It almost has to be. Because for me, that's really all there is. I think it's powerful. I think it's certainly a lot less exhausting than the feeling of guilt, shame, all those things. That's just exhausting. Keeping all that stuff going. One of the things I say in my head and sometimes out loud is, I ask angels to cut the ties that bind me to people, places, situations, drama, anything negative that I no longer want and need. I don't line myself up with that. And I give thanks. I'm grateful that the binds are cut now. Move on. And it's that quick. It's that simple. We're done. Doesn't have to be mean and hateful. Doesn't have to be a big story while you're done with the situation. You just outgrown it. Anyway, time to meditate, my friends. Thank you very much for joining me, those who are on. Learning a lesson in love. So feet flat on the floor, please. Big breath in. Release and let go on your exhale breath. Another breath in. Bring in something that you want to have happen. Release out and let go of what gets in the way. And then one more. Fill up your whole body. Hold it. Let it go. Settle down into where you are, your environment. You can scan the body from the bottom of your feet, bring your mind to your big toes, right and left. And consciously think about areas of your toes that might feel uncomfortable or comfortable. Move to your inner arches. And think about the center of both heels, where the heel bone joins onto the foot plate, the bone of the foot plate. And start gradually moving your mind and your consciousness up through your shin bones, one side and the other. Being aware of your breath as you go. Travel through your knees and your upper leg bones, upper femur bone. Breathe the essence and the energy of healing in. On the exhale, release, free up, lubricate, unleash, whatever you want to call it, the trapped energy. Continue moving to your hips and your pelvis area, your buttocks and tailbone, the base of your seat. This is a nerve-ending energy center of your body, the nucleus. Come up to the area around your belly, right below it, right above your belly button. Begin to move into your solar plexus, the part right below your heart, right where your lower ribs start. Move into your sternum, straight out in front of your heart and your lungs. That breastplate, that little bone right in the middle. Breathe and lift and think about your collarbone, your chest plate. Move into your shoulder joints. Focus on your right arm, right elbow, right wrist, the 4 right fingers and your thumb. Build and generate energy from the bone structure through the ligaments that attach the muscle to the bone, out to the fibers of the muscles, and through the various layers of the skin, through the skin pores, and radiate. Continue traveling up your body, the right side of your neck, right jaw, right side of your jaw, the teeth, the right side of your mouth, up through your right cheekbone and the side of your head, the right side of your head. Bring focus and energy and your consciousness to your third eye center. Focus on your left shoulder, left collarbone, down your left arm. Just a gentle, energetic scan. Finish up your observation with the left side of your head. Let your third eye center settle into that part right between your eyebrows, the basal part of your nose. Let any and all thoughts bubble up and flow out. Use your breath, the relaxation of your mind, and the peace of the situation just to quiet down. Continue opening your third eye center, seeing it lighter and brighter. Looking through the lens of your inner eye, your inner sight brings you direct contact with the messages and what you're meant to pay attention to and see. Be in the experience of experiencing what you see, hear, feel. Be the observer of your physical body. The energy of your soul and the greatness of your spirit anchored into this physical body. Gently letting the ebb and flow of your breath come and go, nothing to fix. Hear what you hear. See what you see. You are the bridge between the Mother Earth, grounded, nurturing, secure, and safe. The Father Heavens, the ethers, energetically connected to the cosmos. Being the bridge between these two realms. You are the keeper of your mind, of your soul, and of your body. Continue the flow of breath, pulling in more breath to energize, metabolize, transform, and transmute everything. Continue breathing into this space between the two worlds. And keep this sense of grace. You bring your hands to the center of your chest to honor yourself, to honor your body, to honor your place in the world. Lift your thumb knuckles between your third eye center and together we bow and say Namaste. there is a definite sense or an energetic sense to where the physical listening, the sounds like this is a sound, cars going by are a sound. We close our eyes and go inward with consciousness. There comes a point where the physical sound of what you actually hear physically with your ears and clairaudiently hear messages, sounds that you aren't sure if they're physical or just hear. That is that plain line where the physical world and spiritual world are coming together, and it takes vibrational level. It's not up, it's not down, it's we're physically vibrating and spiritually vibrating all at the same time. And for me, it helps to explain what this idea that we have about psychic phenomena is. Folks who claim, well, you know, they're a psychic, they're a medium, everybody is. And like anything you want to do, you want to get insight, you want to have these knowledge, the knowledge. If I can do anything else, it's to unlock the mystery of this. And the first part of understanding it or getting to it is the meditation, the dedication, the habits that form a lifetime. That's the first part. And there are layers of it. And layers of it is where the physical has been entrenched in the physical, the to and the from, the going to work, the actual tasking, the grunting, grinding work. And then the spiritual work. When we're learning something new, there's that feeling of I'm not sure. There's what I know and what I'm comfortable with, what I don't know, and I'm not sure this is making any sense. And there comes a point where you stop justifying whether or not it's making sense, whether or not what you're seeing is real, and you just accept it. Then it moves on past acceptance, and then there's this clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer feeling that it's all going. So it seems like when we're in a physical lifetime such as this, sometimes an hour can go by so fast you're like, oh goodness, it's already 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It's time for bed. Sometimes it could drag. Gosh, I've got to wait 10 more minutes for the store to open. And you're standing there. So that makes a little bit more sense that this time thing is not so much tick, 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 boom, but more how are you using it? How is it being used? Because it's being used all the time. It's being used up. All right, my friends, I'll leave you with that. Quite deep for this hour of the day on Christmas Eve 2020. But maybe you've got something to go on. All right, so I'll be here tomorrow again, Christmas Day. Now, what I might do is just push it up onto YouTube. I'm thinking I'll be here live anyway, just because that's my ritual. But you can find it when I upload it to YouTube. All right, have a great Christmas Eve. Just stay in that place of grace. Yeah, bye.